In 2014, the GRU launched a covert operation that would significantly impact Ukraine's sovereignty and its relationship with Russia, an operation that was marked by a direct assault on Ukraine's Crimean peninsula and the subsequent annexation of the region. This operation would spark one of the most contentious geopolitical conflicts in post-Cold War Europe, dramatically shifting the balance of power in the Black Sea region and escalating tensions between Russia and the West. The operation, which began in February 2014, unfolded in the wake of a political crisis in Ukraine. After months of pro-European protests and the ousting of Ukraine's pro-Russian president, Viktor Yanukovych, the country was plunged into political chaos. Russia, deeply concerned about the loss of its influence in Ukraine and the potential expansion of NATO along its borders, sought to reassert its dominance. The GRU played a central role in Russia's hybrid warfare strategy, which combined military force, covert operations, and political manipulation to destabilize Ukraine and secure Crimea. The operation began with the infiltration of Russian military personnel into Crimea, disguised as local self-defense groups. These soldiers, who would later be revealed to be part of the GRU's special forces, were tasked with seizing key government buildings in Simferopol, the regional capital, and other strategic locations across the peninsula. The GRU operatives used unmarked military vehicles and were often dressed in civilian clothing, making it difficult for Ukrainian forces and the international community to immediately identify them as Russian soldiers. In parallel to the ground operation, the GRU launched a massive disinformation campaign to stir up unrest among the Crimean population. This campaign included the spread of false narratives, such as claims that Ukrainian nationalists were threatening the safety of ethnic Russians in Crimea. Russian state media and cyber attacks were used to amplify these messages and create an atmosphere of fear and chaos. At the same time, Russian intelligence services worked to undermine Ukrainian control of Crimea, while also organizing pro-Russian demonstrations across the region. In the face of this growing pressure, the Ukrainian government struggled to respond effectively. While some Ukrainian forces attempted to resist the Russian military presence, they were hampered by logistical issues and political uncertainty in Kiev. As a result, Crimea's regional parliament voted to hold a referendum on joining Russia, a vote that was conducted under Russian military occupation and widely criticized for its lack of international oversight. Despite this, the vote passed, and Russia annexed Crimea shortly thereafter, marking a significant turning point in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The GRU's role in the operation was crucial. Their ability to deploy highly trained special forces alongside cyber and information warfare tactics allowed Russia to achieve its goal without triggering a full-scale conventional war. The operation also highlighted the growing role of cyber warfare and information manipulation in modern conflicts, as Russia used both to achieve its strategic objectives while maintaining plausible deniability. Following the annexation of Crimea, the GRU's involvement in the conflict expanded to include covert military operations in eastern Ukraine. As tensions escalated, the GRU was implicated in supporting separatist forces in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions of eastern Ukraine, providing them with arms, training, and logistical support. This would further escalate the ongoing conflict and lead to a prolonged war in the Donbas region, which has continued to this day. The annexation of Crimea had far-reaching consequences. The international community, led by the United States and the European Union, condemned the move as a violation of Ukraine's sovereignty and imposed a series of sanctions on Russia. The GRU's operation in Crimea, alongside other Russian actions in Ukraine, led to further isolation of Russia on the global stage and prompted NATO to increase its presence in Eastern Europe. In the years following the annexation, Russia's military intelligence services, including the GRU, continued to play a critical role in the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The Russian government's use of hybrid warfare tactics, which involved not only military action, but also information warfare, political subversion, and economic pressure, would serve as a model for future Russian interventions in other regions. The Crimean operation also demonstrated the evolving nature of modern warfare, where cyber attacks, disinformation, and covert military operations are often used in combination to achieve geopolitical goals with minimal overt military confrontation. The success of the GRU in Crimea solidified its reputation as one of the most powerful and effective intelligence agencies in the world, capable of carrying out operations that blend military power with cyber and information warfare. In conclusion, the 2014 annexation of Crimea by Russia was a pivotal moment in GRU history. It marked a major shift in Russia's foreign policy and military strategy, setting the stage for further confrontations with the West and highlighting the growing importance of intelligence operations in achieving national objectives in the 21st century.